Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chime on Demand. I'm Kim Skates, Membership Relations Manager at Central Houston. I'm here today with a couple of really great Chime members, Alexis and Virginia, and I'm so excited to be back again with Tracy Donaldson, Executive Coach and good friend. So, Tracy, I understand today you're going to walk us through a quick little exercise. Tell us about it.
Yes, and so this is, we're coming to the point of year where we're evaluating the next year, and next year will be much better than this one. It certainly most likely will be. But it's this time of year when we all kind of turn inward that we start asking the big questions. Am I happy with my life? What am I doing? Am I in the right place? Are these different areas in my life, relationships and health and money, and all of those big places we start to evaluate. And sometimes we can get really stuck, and sometimes we just don't know. And a lot of times the answer is, I don't know where I am. I don't know what I want. I'm not sure, what I need to do to get there. And so a good place to start is to take a look at each one of those areas. And there's a great exercise called the strategic balance wheel that will help you take a look at each one of these areas. And I do believe you may have one there. And it helps us figure out where we are right now and then where we want to be, and kind of bridge the gaps of exactly where we're going. So that was it. There we go. So when we take a look at the most important areas of our lives, we have relationships, and family and friends can be in there, significant other can be in there, service, career, finances, health, environment, meaning personal environment. Am I living in the place? Does my home make me happy? Am I living in the right city? Am I where I need to be physically as far as environment goes? Recreation, what have I been doing for fun? Is there enough fun in my life? And then personal growth, am I continuing to learn? If it's related to your career, this can be applied to general life, or you can also look at this wheel in relation to your job, or where you are, or in a career, or in an organization. So am I learning? Am I growing? How am I feeding my soul? And so these are the main areas that we look at when we look at the strategic balance wheel. And it's called a strategic balance wheel because there can be put into place strategies to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. But when we look at this, we want to, I guess if everyone has a piece of paper, if you can, the easiest way to do this might be just to draw a circle and then draw it into a pie, 8 different areas and categories within this wheel. So does everyone have a pen and a piece of paper? Yep. Okay, go ahead and do that. And then you can label these. You can start with what we have here, just in the essence of time. You can just look at that and kind of rank it how you want to. And then what we're looking at is we have 0 being the starting point, which is I am not happy at all, to 10 being the outer area of the wheel of I love this part of my life. It's amazing. I'm so satisfied. I'm super happy. And so we're looking at 0 through 10 on each one of these areas. And let's go ahead and rank that as the first exercise, and then take it one step further and take a look at where you'd like to be. And then we'll look at those gaps. So just take a few minutes to do that.
So Tracy, what's the best way to rank that? You want them to write the number in the square, or?
You can write the number in the square, or what you can do, and let me see, I will do it here for you. Another way you can do it is if you have it like this, you can start with 0 being here, 10 being here, and this might be, I might be at a 5. You can do it this way. I might be at a 5 in relationships, and you
So
know,
draw
an
a line
8,
across that
I
segment.
draw a line across. I might be at an
Mhm.
8 in personal growth. I might be down here in finances. Whatever is the easiest way for you to kind of map out where you are right now, currently.
I really like this as an analytical tool, just a quick little snapshot to see where you are, to help you really look at your life in a more organized kind of way.
Yes, it really is a holistic view of everything and a quick snapshot of areas you can work on.
So then Tracy, after everybody has put their bars across each of the segments, then what do we do?
So after you've put the bars and what, you know, as you're looking at it, what I want you to do really quickly is just take a look at it. And has everybody completed that? Take a look at it 1 second. How do you feel about that? Are there any surprises? And did you rank just where you are now, or have you all been able to complete where you want to be as well? So we have both. Yes. Okay, great. So really, I think the best way to go about working on this, because that's what we want to take a look at as we're positioning ourselves for next year and where we want to really focus our energy, because we have a limited amount of energy and resources. Where we want to focus our energy is pick the top 3. Pick the top 3 that are the most important, where you have the biggest gap, and the ones that are going to make the biggest difference for you. And just rank those top 3. And I want you to ask yourselves a few questions. How are you currently spending time in these areas? How do you want to be spending your time in these areas? What would you like to be spending your time on? And are there any that you're spending a lot of time on that didn't make it into the top 3? Are there areas where maybe you're spending too much energy? And if you look at where you want to be, they may not be worthwhile. And so then I want you to think about, with these top 3, and you know where you want to be, what would a score of 10 look like in those areas? What would it look like if you were completely satisfied? What would that area of your life look like? Jot that down really quickly. What would be happening in your life if that were a 10? And what is one thing that you can do to move closer to that 10? What is one thing that you will commit to do to bridge those gaps just for those top 3? Let's not worry about the other 5 right now, just the top 3. What's one thing you can do in each area to make a big impact? And one more question along those lines, because you know we got to stretch. What are you going to do when the predictable resistance shows up that will show up to keep you from getting there? How can you protect this as being the most important things to work on? And so this is a really great snapshot as we're starting the year to take a look at, how am I doing? Where do I want to be? And what do I need to do to move things towards my goal?
Tracy, I love that. I think that's a great way to get into goal setting. I also think, we're doing this as an exercise for looking at our own personal lives. What Tracy was alluding to earlier, how you could apply this to your organization. If you're working on a team, if you're if you're on a committee, if you're leading a board retreat, you could look at this organizational wide too, right? Like, how is our nonprofit doing with fundraising? How's it doing with communications? How's it doing? And if everybody does this exercise together, it gives them a way to kind of see where there's a consensus, and where we might need to build some consensus. So those are some other applications, but personally, I mean, I just think this is a great way to check in with yourself.
It is. And as you mentioned, Kim, it's something where we do this with organizations all the time, even down to, we've done it with IT departments, where they'll look at projects that they're working on and they dissect it. Well, is this project as important as this? And where's our time being spent? And so you can really make this whatever you need it to be. As an organization, it's leadership, administration, marketing, sales, the board, all of these things can be put on this wheel. It can be customized in an infinite number of ways to kind of take a look at, what can we do to improve? Where are we? Because it's all about, where are we now and where do we want to be next? Personally, professionally, I'm a big believer that all professional development is also personal development. And that's something that I'm hearing a lot from leaders is, and I love that, because we're moving into this place where everybody does want to look at it holistically. They want a whole view. It's not just one piece here, one piece here, one piece here. It's, how does everything fit together and how do we make things work and grow together? And how do we get there? And this is a really quick way of taking a look at that.
Yeah, that's great. And I also thought that last question you asked around, what are you going to do when you kind of fall back into those old habits that have kept your wheel in the state that it is? Like, how are you going to push through that to really create change? I think that's smart to have that planning, ahead of time.
It will pop up, and as long as you've got a plan to deal with it, you can put it aside. Not today, because I'm working on this. Not today.
That's great. Any final thoughts before we go? All right, well, thank you guys all for joining us today for CHIME On Demand. We will be back in the future, new speakers, new topics, more fun things, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you so much. This
Hi,
was such a
thank you.
pleasure.